Hey, this is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar, and you're watching Axes and Artifacts. And today we have Lloyd Nicely from Gruen Guitars, and Lloyd knows more about old Gretsches than anybody I know. So, man, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Man, okay, you're the Gretsch man. Tell me about this bad boy.
All right. Well, this is a 1957 Gretsch Model 6120. This is a Chet Atkins signature guitar. It's got the Chet Atkins signature here with the signpost on the pick guard.
Okay, so did this model exist before Chet put his name on it?
They built this guitar for Chet.
Oh, okay, per his
Well,
request.
no, they didn't really build it for his request. They built it to his specifications that they thought he wanted.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's why later it was kind of, he went to the 6122. He designed that one.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool, okay, great. Okay, so tell me, man, what's it come with?
Well, this guitar is equipped with two Dynasonic pickups. They're single coil pickups. They're made by DeArmond. It's got a Bigsby black enameled tailpiece with a swing arm.
Oh, man, hey, tell me, okay, you said something really interesting about that. Back in 1957, what did a Bigsby cost?
You could buy a Bigsby for about $75.
Wow.
75 bucks.
And what was the price of the guitar?
About $295.
Can you imagine that? It's like almost like slightly under a third of the price just for the damn tailpiece. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Hey, and show me this, man.
This guy here, this is a Gretsch Vibrato, a clip-on Vibrato. These are pretty hard to come by, but I see them every now and then. Basically what this does is if you bought a guitar such as a Gretsch Anniversary that came with a G tailpiece.
If you couldn't afford the $75 Bigsby.
For your Bigsby, you would clip this on to the back here behind the bridge, and you can kind of get a little bit of vibrato with it. I call it the string breaker.
Right.
It does that very well.
I wonder what those cost by comparison.
These are a couple bucks back
Wow.
then, you know?
Wild, man.
Yeah, very
Wild.
cool thing.
That is cool. Okay, cool. Okay, sorry for that side note. Keep going.
This guitar is going to be, the body is a laminate maple construction. It's got bound F holes, bound top, bound back, bound neck, bound headstock. Everything that you can think of is bound on this guitar. This was a kind of like a Cadillac of that time period. This has a beautiful two-piece maple neck, and it's super flamey. Open back tuners with the rope.
Wow, great, man.
You know, it's got an aluminum compensated tailpiece. I believe these were made by Bigsby. It also has an aluminum nut.
Wow, that's weird. I you know, it gives it a little kind of a brighter whatever.
Yeah, gives it a little tinge.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, I dig it. Puts a twang in that.
Yeah.
Now, no zero fret on this one.
No zero fret on this model. The zero fret was introduced in 1959. That was the first year that they put that on this model. And most models actually in 59 received a zero fret, and that was something that Chet Atkins actually wanted on the guitar, a zero fret.
Why did Chet want it?
I think that they really believed that it gave a bit more sustain to the guitars. Gretsch guitars don't have a lot of sustain. They're more of kind of a just, you know, the notes kind of fall, you know, pretty quick.
Yeah.
But he thought that it gave a little more sustain. And the cool thing about a zero fret is that when they are at it, it kind of eliminates, you know, a lot of work to be done to the nut. Because, you know, it goes over the top of the fret, of course, and then this just acts kind of like a guide to your string post.
Right,
you know?
right. What's interesting because Setzer, he removes, I guess, the zero fret on his.
Yeah, I believe on his main 59, he had removed that zero fret and kind of moved the nut back. I think he thought that it gave him better intonation.
Well, I'm wondering if, you know, Chet thought that it made for better intonation, and Setzer didn't find that was true. I wonder if it's because the guitar was like 50 years old and it's kind of shrunk a little bit and jacked with the whole.
That could be and these guitars, speaking of shrinking, a lot of the times when these come in, you know, to the shop, they are in need of neck resets, which is pretty rare for an electric guitar to need a neck reset.
Yeah, it's more of a Martin thing.
Yeah, that's more of a flat top deal, you know, Gibson Martin. But these actually, the funny thing about this one is most of these instruments featured in this neck heel here, they would have a piece of ebony. And that ebony was a plug, and underneath the plug was an actual screw. And they would use that screw when they got this neck into the dovetail. They would use that screw to, they would tighten it to try to get the angle correct.
Huh.
And I've seen several of them with even two screws in them.
Wow. And that's like
one,
the Achilles heel, huh?
Exactly. This one actually doesn't have one at all. But I have a saying about Gretsch's. Every single one of them is a prototype.
Yeah. Right.
You'll find them with different wire. Sometimes the switches are wired backwards from the factory. Right. You just never know what you're going to get.
And speaking of switches, okay,
Yeah.
so this doesn't have that weird.
It does
tone
not
switch.
have the tone switch or mud switch as they normally call it. This is just a three-way toggle for your pickup configuration.
Yeah, and the mud switch, which again Setzer, you just he took his out or
Yeah, he just kind of unscrewed it, and I think he just pushed it down inside of the guitar. That's why you always see his main guitar has that hole right there.
Yeah, yeah. That switch is, what'd you say? It's like put it up and it's 50% less tone.
If you switch it all the way up, it's going to take the tone down by 50%.
Yeah.
And if you switch it all the way down, it's going to take the tone down by 100%. If you put it in the middle, it actually defeats it.
All right, so we got the three-way selector. Tell me about the rest of the wiring.
Well, the rest of the wiring, of course, you have your three-way toggle. You have a master volume. This guitar features a tone knob. The later ones have, of course, your tone switch. So this has a tone control here. And then you have two potentiometers here for wiring or volume for each pickup.
Cool. Hey, just run through those pickups once.
So this is just the bridge pickup with the volume all the way up. Neck pickup. And then your middle pickup. And your tone knob.
Cool, man. With that tone knob all the way down, it does sound like the mud switch.
It does.
Almost unusable in most circumstances.
Correct.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing unique to 1957 on most Gretsch instruments, electric arch tops and electric solid bodies, is they did feature a hump top inlay. So most of the time when you see a hump top inlay, the guitar is probably from 57 or it's a reissue. These also featured a Brazilian rosewood fingerboard. Later they had an ebony fingerboard in 58.
So what is the value of this guitar?
This guitar, we're actually asking $12,500 for this guitar.
Yeah. Okay, and you can't look at Gretsch's and not think about Brian Setzer, of course, and which brings us to this amp.
Yeah.
Hold on, tell them about this bad boy.
This is a 1961 Fender Bassman amplifier. These typically had a cabinet with two 12s. This one actually has one 15.
Man, I dig the 15.
It's pretty cool. A little more low end.
Really alive. I mean, it starts to kind of. It's funny because we're not particularly loud, but when you're on that neck pickup, it does kind of start to feed back.
Oh yeah,
you really get it.
Yeah, and these also have the cool thing about these is they have a presence knob. Like if you've ever messed around with old Marshall amplifiers, of course they were kind of derived from this particular amplifier, but if you ever messed around with those, they have a presence knob, and it really gives a lot of bite to the amplifier. It has two channels. You've got a bass channel, so you can plug your bass in, and you have your other channel here where you can plug your guitar in. Yeah. Or your accordion, whatever.
Right. Very cool. And it also has the cool tilt back legs.
Oh, it has the tilt backs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has the tilt, and it has this feature here with the knurled knobs where you can clip the head onto the cabinet.
Sure. Yeah. So when your guitar player, jumps, knocks it over, it can all go together, right?
All together.
Yeah. That's cool. What year did they start doing the blonde?
That would be 1961.
Huh. Wow, man. And this is the same year that...
I believe that Setzer uses a couple of these,
Very cool.
From this era.
Man, it's really a perfect combination, those two together.
Yeah, they're great together.
Yeah. Well, there it is. That is the perfect coupling of Gretsch and Fender living in harmony. So, thanks very much for joining us. This is John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Till next time, peace out.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on PremierGuitar.com.